Well, joining me now to discuss all that and more is sports commentator Frankie Clarence. Frankie, you've got the threads. I'm enjoying it already. I think we need to get serious for a sec first, though, Frankie. We've got to talk FIFA and the statement that's been put out by Heather Rabbatz as she's left her very senior position. What do you think about this?
I think she's finally spoken out through a sense of frustration. She's not necessarily back to Sepp Blatter, but she's kind of like withheld what she's had to say. But now it's reached the point that's beyond boiling point. Everyone's finally noticing what Mr. Joseph Sepp Blatter is capable of, and now she's just expressing what's really going on behind the scenes.
I mean, if we dumb down her very eloquently worded statement, she is saying, with him in charge, I can't do my job. And just a reminder, she was the head of the FIFA task force against racism and discrimination. I mean, that is a hugely important role. And you consider, given all the negative press they've had recently, you would want someone that's the head of such an important organisation at this point in time to be able to come up with good things FIFA are doing. She's doing the polar opposite. She's saying, I can't do any good because of the people I work for.
Yeah, of course. And you need to, she's got an exact right to be saying that, because if you look at the racial incidents that we had in football, prime example with the whole John Terry and Ferdinand situation, there was no sense of support from FIFA. They'll say, keep saying they're going to kick out racism. Kick it out campaign wasn't there. None of these campaigns that say they're going to try and stop racism were at a court case. And if no one in the hierarchy of FIFA aren't able to, so what's the actual point of them actually trying to stop discrimination if they're not even going to be there when the time gets tough?
Let me ask you, Frankie, she's obviously a big name that has walked away citing Blatter as her reasons. David Gill was the other just as soon as he was re-elected. Is this now going to be the domino effect? Are we going to see more high-profile FIFA members walking away? And further to that, will we also see organisation states such as the FA saying, you know what, we don't want part of it either anymore?
It will to a degree. I don't think it'll be that drastic. I think that, sad to say, but I think the X amount of income these guys earn, I don't think they're really willing to walk away from that. I believe with all the funds and all the opportunities and all the rewards of being in such a hierarchical industry, I don't think a lot of them have the backbone or have the pride. They may have the pride to want to walk away, but I don't think they've got the gut to actually do it. So credit to Heather for doing so.
We heard the statements from Russia and indeed from Pele, albeit fleetingly, in support of Sepp Blatter. Can you explain that to me?
Well, no, I can't. Obviously, I've never been in a situation to back someone who's been proven that they are corrupt. I think we can't be...
Well, he hasn't specifically. We need to be clear on that. As a news organisation, he himself is still out of the firing line. Yeah,
of course. I just feel that Pele is just trying to make... It's weird. I really don't hate to say it about one of the greatest players ever, but I think he's ego and he's trying to dwell too much in his minute of fame, which is already surpassed decades ago. He's trying to make himself more relevant just by speaking where he's not needed to be spoken to. Yes, you can show your support, but in the manner he said it, really didn't show a sense of professionalism if he once was a professional player.
It's a very easy and interesting point from you, Frankie. I was surprised to hear you say you think he's lost his pizzazz, in effect.
Exactly.
He's still Pele. Let's talk about Juventus. The old lady is in Berlin. What a season they have had. I mean, it has been remarkable, hasn't it? Have they got any chance of beating Barcelona on Saturday?
I ask why people don't think they do. You know, a team has never got to the final playing bad from group stage to the final. And I'm a Liverpool fan, and the fact I've said that just tells the show. I think Juventus have played the great football, not just now, but for the last 5 years. I've been a fan of Italian football, and prior to the match-fixing scandal they had back in 2005, 2006, Serie A was the world's dominant league in all 5-6 of the European competitions. And they're slowly getting back to that level now. You know, they had the most teams left in European competitions in Europa and Champions League. I think it was a total of 6, more than any of the others. Serie A is dominating. Italy international team is slowly getting there. People saying they may have lost it. Obviously, they've lost the stars of 2006 World Cup, but they're getting there. And it's kind of resembling that with Juventus. Juventus have not, everyone keeps talking about Pirlo and Buffon. They are more than that. You know, Man United missed the opportunity of the talent of Pogba. Premiership teams are now realizing what Vidal has. Bonici's doing awesome. Lynch, I can name the whole Juventus.
You're pulling names out of the hat.
They're a brilliant team. I look forward, and yeah, I've got a friend who's been supporting them from depth. So yeah, I know all about them, and I know Tommy and all Juventus fans will know that they can do it.
Thank you, Frankie. Fantastic. Last quick one for you. Chelsea now in Australia via Bangkok. They're having a post-season tour. The season's only just finished. You know, is there too much football being played?
I think as athletes, it's not necessarily too much football, because you can compare with American football. They only play 14 games in the regular season. But yeah, if you look at basketball, they play 86 games in a season. It's only the physical demands they can capably do. I think it's only fair. There's many people, I do love traveling all over the world, there's many people who say, how's it like seeing Premiership football live? I think it's right, because football is a global sport. It's only fair that teams and fans all over the world get to see their fans, whether it be pre-season or post-season. I don't think it really matters, because the match is not played in a high-intensity game, so it's more of like an ease off to the holidays. So
I hear you. Frankie, insightful as ever, my friend. We'll see you in the second half. Well, rejoining me in the studio is our guest for tonight, sports commentator Frankie Clarence. Frankie, I know that obviously you've done the flexing for Arnie before as well.
It's obvious, right?
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Let's talk about the man on every footballer's lips right now, Jurgen Klopp. He's worked wonders, and now he's available. He says he wants some downtime, but nonetheless, who are going to be the big teams that have a realistic chance of getting his attention?
Oh, well, when you said the man on everyone's football list, I thought we were going back to Plastic, and I thought, we've already done that part. But in terms of Klopp, I think he's just on everyone's list because he's such a fantastic manager. He's just brilliant in every persona. I think what he did in Borussia Dortmund is just a epitome of how football management should be done. Not just working on the pitch, but just working with the training facilities, just bringing the youth players, which are now gone on to win World Cups and more. He's a brilliant manager, and he rightly deserves to take a break, you know. But yeah, he's a fantastic manager.
Well, he tore up the rule book, didn't he? I mean, he was one of the guys that redefined what it was to be a football coach and work with his players. And is he perhaps one of the reasons why we've seen this emergence of German football?
He's not the main reason, but he's got a very big part in it. He's just everything like you just mentioned. If you just look at the players that come through, Hummels, Götze, Gardendal, you got Royce, Lewandowski. These are players not just saying that are not just good in the Bundesliga, but they've shown it worldwide on the international stage. He deserves a lot of credit for that, and pat on the back to him. But it's a sad way that how his season did end up. But I think we admire what he achieved as opposed to what he didn't achieve.
He was still signed off like a hero, wasn't he?
Exactly.
Where do you think he's likely to end up? Because he's talking about a rest, but he's not putting a cap on it. You know, he's not saying I need 6 months, I need a season or anything. He's just saying I'm going to have a bit of downtime with the team. That doesn't mean to say he couldn't start work again potentially for next season. Who do you think would be interested? Who will be picking up the phone and trying to get a meeting?
The fact that he said he's on a break, I think that's kind of made it a lot harder for us. It depends what clubs are available. A lot of people say where he wants to go, but you need to realise what if the club don't want him. He's got the calibre to play in anywhere in Europe, I personally believe. I think he is true to his word. I think he's going to take a break. I know Pep Guardiola did a similar thing when he left Barcelona. Took a year. I even went to move over to the US. I think Klopp is going to be close to football. I think he'll do a lot of punditry jobs. Hopefully he won't be taking my spot here in the Rise News. But,
I think you're safe. I think you're safe, Frankie.
You
should be fine, my friend. Let's talk tennis. It's been an interesting day in the French Open. Andy Murray's made it through. I think we expected that because he's having such a year, isn't he?
He's having a phenomenal year. It's like, a lot of people already talking about him going to end up winning Wimbledon. I think that's a bit too prematurely, but he's proven he had a bit of a downfall not too long ago, but he's building up and he's showing resilience. And what I like most, he's showing aggressiveness as well. He's not really taking a safe side. He's letting his opposite number know that, yeah, I'm here and I'm ready to dominate the game.
In actual fact, since he's been married, he has been electric.
Exactly. Without every great man, they need a sensational woman behind them.
I hear you. Speaking of sensational women, Maria Sharapova is sensational, and yet she's been knocked out. She's the defending champion. This is probably the surprise of the tournament so far.
Yes, it is. I think that's what most of us like about tennis. I think that although they may be a favourite, what we love about it is that there's no guaranteed winner. We're not talking about the favourite per se. We're talking about the actual defending champion, and she's just been knocked out, and it's come a shock to everyone. I was very surprised at that myself. I thought she was going to go on to at least to the finals herself, but That's the beauty of tennis. We never know.
Exactly, mate. It is exactly the beauty of tennis. Frankie, thank you so much for your company today.
Pleasure.
It's always
Thanks for
a
having
pleasure
me.
having you
Cheers.
in the studio, so thank you to you.